and then you want to... No! I'm going to add this one to the outtakes.
In a crude laboratory in the basement of his home,
What's up, Yeti fans? It's your one and only Redstone, Abominable Snowman, Mojo Beast. Hey! How are you doing? I am awesome today because I am going to show you this now. This is the thing that I built. Well, in fact, I built this bit during Zuma's live stream earlier this week. And so this was in response to Zuma's challenge to make a Tileable Minecart Loader. And a couple of you tweeted to me and said you'd like a tutorial on this, so this is what this is. But not only that, there is also a Tileable, fully Tileable, so it's exactly the same on every tile. There is a fully Tileable Minecraft Unloader here. So, if you have a need to move massive amounts of items around your base, or from base to base, or from place to place, this is how you can do it. So, let me show you how this works. Okay, time for the explainy bit. So, because these minecarts here are sitting on detector rails, you can't quite see, but underneath those are detector rails, there you go. But while these detector rails are on an angle, they can still be read through an adjacent block by a comparator. So that comparator is reading what's in the chest, while the chest is being filled by this hopper, and it's being held in place by this solid block. Now, this comparator here, all this is doing is feeding the signal through to this comparator, so it's just repeating on the same signal strength. What this comparator doing is it's comparing its signal strength to this reference strength, which is just a redstone lever. And so that is giving a full signal strength. So this will only activate when that chest is completely full, which should be now. There was amazing timing. So what happens when the chest gets full? This piston gets activated. The cauldron will activate this comparator. It'll read a signal strength off of that. Then it'll activate this repeater, flow the power through this dropper. So this is a dropper facing downwards. There goes another one. And it will turn off this torch, retract the piston, and off goes the minecart. Now, at this end, this is the unloader. And how the unloader works is in very similar fashion. So, the minecart here is sat on two hoppers. This will only work when it's sat on two hoppers and on an angle. I'm not quite 100% sure why, but that's the thing. That is how it works. Okay. This is also on a detector rail, and it's half on this because this is important. So the fence post will hold it half on both these two blocks, and that will mean that it is detecting its signal strength, and that is holding this cauldron up here, which is being read by that comparator, which is keeping this piston force down, which is keeping the minecart in place. Now, when the minecart is completely empty, so let's just simulate this. Hello, minecart. You want to be open, don't you? There we go. And unload that completely, and there we go. The piston will retract, and it will go back, and it'll start loading again. There we go. Hup. All right. I think that is probably it for an explanation. Except to say, over at this end, to avoid the comparators, because these comparators are having to compare against an adjacent signal strength, to avoid them interfering with one another, there is an alternate tiling here. So these ones over here, there is an extra comparator. So these ones will take the signal strength up, read it off a comparator again, and then the third comparator will convert it to that signal strength, which is again just a lever turned on. So let me show you how to build it. Okay, first let's build the loader. For each 2 of these rows, you will need these materials. You will need 7 comparators, 4 repeaters, 3 dust, 4 sticky pistons, 2 cauldrons, 6 hoppers, and 2 droppers, 2 redstone torches, and 2 detector rails. You will also need some solid blocks, you will need some slabs, and you will need powered rail for the rest of your network. And you then, if you want chests at the top filling, you will need those, and you will also need some buckets of water to fill in your cauldron. So I'd recommend having an infinite water source somewhere nearby if you're not in creative mode. Okay, so I'm going to build 2 of these lines side by side in order to demonstrate, and if you want to build more of them, then you can repeat this pattern over and over. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is place down 2 detector rails, and then I'm going to place solid blocks on the side for them, and temporary rails up here to make them slant. And what I'm going to do now is just temporarily place down some hoppers, and I'm going to take these out again because all I want them to do is to be able to place hoppers facing into the side of that block. We're going to leave that as an air block. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is place more hoppers facing down, and then what we want to do is build up 2 and do that here as well. And then we're going to place some droppers facing down, and you have to get right down here in order to do this, and get the hitbox and press shift. There we go. Droppers facing down, and finally, if you want to place chests on the top, you can either have these coming from another system or just feed them direct from the top. I'm going to do the latter. You need to alternate chests and trap chests so you don't get them linking up. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is build the detection system. So I'm going to come down here. You can use either, so over there in the prototype I've used slabs, you can use solid blocks, they work just as well. We're going to put comparators on those. Next, we're going to have comparators facing into that iron block. So this solid block is going to be powered by the comparator. Now, here's where the pattern changes. Only one of these is going to have a redstone, the other one is going to be left blank, so there's going to be 1 redstone block there. Then pop down here and put in another couple of blocks. So again, the pattern is going to change, and you're going to have just 1 comparator down here, and the other one is going to be a dust. This is going to be your first reference signal, and so you can put in a lever underneath here. That'll power that, that'll power into the side of that. Okay, next thing we need to do is pop in some more solid blocks. 1 there, and 1 there. This one is going to have a sticky piston on it, and that is going to have a cauldron on top. This one here is going to come out 4 blocks, 2, 3, 4. Then you put in a comparator, another comparator there, and a block of iron in between to carry the signal, then another sticky piston and a cauldron on top. Now finally what you want to do is you want to have your second reference signal there, again a redstone with a lever underneath. So there we go, that is the bottom layer built, and all we do now is fill in these cauldrons with water buckets. Next up, what we need to do is we need to build the top layer. So what I want you to do is place down some slabs feeding all the way into these droppers. So this one comes all the way back to this cauldron, and this one here comes just back to here. Now each of these cauldrons is going to be read by a comparator, that one there, and what we need to do is place down some solid blocks, and all this is for is just to minimize your use of redstone components, so this is just making it a bit cheaper. So solid block there, and there, and the rest of the slack is going to be taken up by repeaters, so 1 there, and there. And finally, what we want to do here is place torches on the side. Now all we need to do is we need to put some temporary blocks in, build out 2 from here, knock those out, then put sticky pistons facing down. Again, you can knock these out, they're not necessary. And then finally put these iron blocks in here. 1 there, 1 there. And there we have it. That is the loader. Okay, these are the materials that you will need for the unloader. So for each line, because these are identical and completely tileable, you will need 2 comparators, 1 repeater, 2 sticky pistons, 1 cauldron, 3 hoppers, 1 oak fence, and you will also need a detector rail. So the first thing you want to do is you want to come down with some solid blocks and just give yourself some room to work by building a couple down, and then you want to build 3 out. Now this is either where your hopper chain would start, or in my case is where the output chests are going to go, because this is just a demonstration. There we go. Okay, so we want 3 lots of hoppers on each. So a hopper facing into the side, then a hopper facing down, and then a hopper facing into the side of those. Now the first of those hoppers needs to have a powered rail on top, which will go here and here. The second, we're going to do the same trick as we did last time, where we are going to build up, then we are going to put a detector rail on each, and then we're going to temporarily put powered rails in and then break them again in order to get the rails slanting. And if you do have output chests here, remember not to leave the solid block over them, otherwise no items will go in. Next thing we want to do is we want to take our comparator outputs. So what we will do is we will take our outputs through this block again, and then we will face them into more solid blocks. Now what those solid blocks are going to do is they're going to power these sticky pistons. The sticky pistons are going to have cauldrons on top. The cauldrons will have water in them. So next what you need to do is you need to build this up into a diamond shape here. This one here is to stop the cart, and these are for building redstone on. So I'm going to build 2 of them, one here, one here. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is have comparators coming out of those, so when those are extended, the comparators will be activated, and then repeaters to boost the signal, and then what I'm going to do finally is just build up some temporary blocks up here in order to place some sticky pistons. So sticky pistons just go in here, and then we're going to put the fence posts on, one there, and that, very simple, is job done. So there we have it, and this chest is filling up with diamond blocks, ready to be taken back to your base. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, so if you enjoyed the tutorial, please remember to hit that like button. I'm going to stick a link to a world download in the description, and let me know what you think of it, and let me know if you use it in your world, and stay cool, stay Yeti, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more Redstone stuff and things. Peace out.
And I was like, that's cool.